speaker coming up, man. Where's Kyle?
Come on, bub.
Kyle Daughtry. Is that how you say your name, man? Daughtry? Doherty? Hey, 4 months clean. Let's give this guy a round of applause. Come on. Listen to him with your heart. Give him all you got when he's done.
Hello everybody, my name is Kyle. I'm a grateful recovering alcoholic. I say that on stands of where I came from and where I'm at today. You know, today life's amazing. New Richmond is my hometown. I grew up here. I went to New Richmond Elementary and Middle School. Graduated from Amelia. You know, I was always actively involved in sports, wrestling, football, very into sports. You know, working out. Never did a drug day one until I graduated high school. So that goes to show you that drugs do not discriminate whatsoever. Oh, my bad. You know, that goes to show you that drugs do not discriminate at all. You know, this stuff's cunning, baffling, and powerful at its finest. You know, very quickly, you know, I got very actively involved into, you know, pills, and then it progressively led to heroin. And, you know, and along comes with heroin comes charges and probation and everything else. So, you know, being on probation, in and out of jails. First time that I got locked up, you know, I did a little 6 months, and then, you know, I got out and then told myself I'd never touch that stuff again. And I don't think I was out for more than 24 hours before I stuck a needle back in my arm. And, you know, I always heard the message, you know, change your people, places, and things. And I never did understand that because, you know, I expected, how do you expect to change your people, places, and things and still expect to live and have a normal life? And, you know, and today I understand that, you know, the more people, places, and things, just not a good place to be at any point in time. You know, the very last time that my probation officer violated, I went to Spring Grove, and I heard a guy in there was talking about Gateway House. And at this time I had already been locked up for just a few short little months, but when he was talking to me about Gateway House, I was so into my head as I didn't want to get out of jail and then go into somewhere else that was going to tell me what to do. Oh, right here? There we go. When he was talking to me about Gateway House, I didn't want to go from jail to somewhere else that was just going to tell me what to do or, you know, try to control my life. And, you know, so I was very up into my head about it. But my probation officer, we got to talking about it, and, you know, I told her, I was very iffy on it. And I was like, you know what, I'll give you 30 days and I'll go and try it out. And, you know, today, I can honestly say that is the best decision I've ever made in my life. I mean, Gateway House. This shit brings cold chills to me, man. Just the guys there that are at the house today, I mean, absolutely amazing. You know, the life that, you know, and it's crazy because we're all there for one thing, you know, and we've all came from different walks of life, but we're all there for one purpose. And, you know, so when I first got to Gateway, and I'm very much of a people person, but when I got to Gateway, man, like, I was so nervous. I didn't want to talk to nobody. And, you know, that's what the guys there are taught, you know, come up, talk to the newcomer, come up and talk to the new guys that are there, introduce yourself, you know, talk to them, you know, get to know them. And, you know, 30 days come and went. You know, before I know it, I was there for 17 months. And it was absolutely amazing. You know, that place taught me to be responsible, you know, to be an adult, to, you know, to get up, to go to work, you know, it's just absolutely crazy, man, what that place has done for me. You know, and I couldn't have done it without Gateway House, the people there, the people that I've met through Gateway. I mean, place is just, I mean, it's amazing, dude. It really is. So I was there for Gateway for like 17 months, right around, and I was having my second child, and I thought that I was completely ready to move out and to move out on my own. And at the time, I could have told anybody, you know, I'm completely set, I'm ready, I got this. You know, and I moved out with the mother of my children, and I didn't have shit because I disconnected myself from meetings, the rooms, the people at Gateway. You know, everything that I've known for the last 17 months, I disconnected myself from. And, you know, that led me back to putting that needle back in my arm, you know, hang around them old people, places, and things that we talk about. And I never realized it until it got so bad to where I was stuck at that point. And, you know, just telling myself that I had this, I didn't need nobody, you know, I can do this shit on my own. And, you know, everybody kept telling me, you know, go back to Gateway, go back to Gateway, go back to Gateway, because it done so much for you and it got you so far in life and it taught you so many things in life, you know, to how to deal with situations that you put yourself into or put yourself, you know, around people that are using, that are getting high. And, you know, today, you know, so after close to almost a year being back out there when I relapsed, you know, my mother of my children, she's 7 months pregnant at this time, and she comes in and finds me dead on the couch, you know, just 5 short months after moving out of Gateway. She's 7 months pregnant, her and my 6-year-old daughter. And, you know, you would think that would be the wake-up call for you. But, you know, for a person like me, you know, once I stuck that needle back in my arm and I got to hang around them old people, places, and things, it didn't matter at that point in time. Like I already awakened that beast. I mean, that beast was well awakened inside of me, and at that point in time, I had no control over nothing. I was just living and fighting against a demon, and it's a pointless battle, you know. And, you know, so for another 5 to 6 months, you know, I was out there going extremely to, you know, to anything, any lengths to get what I needed to do. And like I said, everybody kept telling me to go back to Gateway, and I was just so, my pride and my ego would not let me go back, you know. And it's not because of what Gateway has done, because Gateway is an amazing place. It was up in my head and in myself, and I didn't know what to do. I was stuck, man. Like I was fighting against something that was never going to be beaten, and I felt like that in my head. And, you know, finally I made that decision on, you know, calling down to Adrian, and that man did not hesitate, not one bit, to let me back into that place. And I knew that's where I needed to be. I knew that was the right place for me. I knew I needed to be back around the guys. I knew I needed to start working the 12 steps. I knew I needed to be around, you know, people that are wanting the same thing for, you know, the same thing that I'm trying to fight for, you know, and that's to live a clean, sober, normal life, you know, be a productive citizen in society, you know. And when I was out there getting high, what the hell is a productive citizen in society? That's nothing. You know, I'm out here doing what I need to do, not worried about my kids, not worried about my family, not worried about anything else. You know, and today, it's absolutely amazing to me, you know, because you know, I got 2 beautiful kids, you know, 6-year-old daughter and an 8-month-old boy. And it's crazy to me how they just look up to me like I'm the biggest hero and I'm the biggest fan that they've ever seen. And I get up into my head like, I don't even see what they see in me sometimes, because I've been such a messed up person all my life, you know, and that's things that I need to get out of my head and that I need to work on. It's progress, not perfection. You know, I'll never be perfect. I'll never do anything perfect, but I'm gonna work on it. I'm gonna work towards it. So shortly after I went back to Gateway and I called Adrian, you know, he didn't even hesitate to let me back there. And I mean, just when I pulled into that parking lot, the day that I moved back into Gateway House, it was like 1,000 pounds just lifted off my chest. And I was just absolutely grateful to be back. And man, I was just so lost in life itself, man. You know, I come back at, you know, completely strung out. It was like 160 pounds. You know, I didn't even know what to do, where to go, you know, to who to speak to, you know, what to do. And that's the good thing about Gateway is there's so many guys there that when you're up inside your head that you're beating yourself up or you have a bad day, you know, at any point in time you can walk out of your apartment and there's 10 or 15 guys outside of the place that are there to, you know, going through the exact same thing that you're going through, you know, that you can share on things that only people that's been through this stuff, you know, can completely understand where you're coming from. You know, like, I can't just go talk to a normal person, but like, you know, I'm having such a fucking bad day, I want to go drink, I want to go get high. And, you know, their response is, well, just don't go get high. Well, of course, no shit, you know. But the people there at that house, you know, the people that are in the meetings, you know, in these 12 steps, you know, they teach me to, you know, to deal with them situations and, you know, and to work on them daily, you know, because just because I'm in recovery doesn't mean I'm not going to have bad days. You know, I have a lot of bad days. I have a lot of good days too. But when them bad days do arise, you know, I'm in a very good place to deal with them kind of things and deal with them situations, or to deal with them people that get put in my life that, you know, I get put in a situation where somebody's using, or I get put into a situation where I don't know how to deal with it. You know, I got a phone book full of numbers or a house full of guys that I can go and talk to. And, you know, to me, and that's just absolutely amazing. You know, I got a lot of good support over here, you know, guys that came out to see me. I mean, this is my first year ever being to something like this, and the house manager, Adrian, told me, he said, it's going to be breathtaking when all them bikes come pulling in. And man, did I tell you what, dude, they sent up cold chills through my body when all them bikes coming in. And it's amazing because these guys are here for a cause for a disease that I've been fighting my whole life. And it's just crazy to me to see how many people, you know, show up to show support for something that's killing everybody out here, you know. It's sickening to see, you know, sometimes I get on, you know, I've lost a lot of good friends in this battle of addiction, and it's very hard to deal with, you know, but, you know, sometimes, you know, that's, you know, people, it's two choices, you know, you're either gonna fix the problem or you're gonna die from it, and that's the bottom line to it, you know. One last message I got, you know, if anybody or you or yourself or anybody you know that is struggling, please reach out, get help, talk to somebody, you know, get to a treatment center, go to a meeting. You're worth it, man. This life's not going to lead you nowhere but jails or death. That's all I got. Thanks, guys.
Hey, one more time, let's give a big round of applause for Kyle. Come on. That's the kind of guys we like to... Oh, there you go. I got a big mouth. That's the kind of guys we like to see. Good job, man. Good job. Check out your vendors, man. They're all over.